Hey there, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm just going to be playing around with September Roses Still Pretty palette. This is a newer eyeshadow palette that was announced, I think, a little bit before Valentine's Day. Unfortunately, I did not receive it until after Valentine's Day. Some first few thoughts about this palette. I do wish, I guess, kind of going along with what I just said, I do wish that they had released this maybe in January or something, which I don't fully remember when they released this, but by the time it got sent out, it was after February, which, you know, whatever. This, my opinion, is a Valentine's Day themed palette. But yeah, let me go ahead and just do some swatches real quick on the back of my hand, and yeah. Okay, so here's just some simple swatches on the back of my hand. Sorry, I realize it is completely upside down. Everything looks super pretty. The only colors that I would say I did have, or color, that I had a problem with would be this White Lotus, that's incorrect, Red Rose, which is like a matte red, but it's, I don't know if it's just pressed really hard, which a lot of the mattes are as well, but it's like you really have to work to get that like color. If you kind of see, I'll just like swatch on my hand. So you can kind of see it's a very faint red, but if you do kind of layer it up, which is what I did for the swatch, then you are able to build it up to that more pigmented. The shimmers are very beautiful. The only one I'm not a massive fan of would be the shade Master, which is like a red metallic. It is this one right here. It's a pretty shade, but it honestly, to me, is literally basically the same shade as this red one here, but in just a more metallic-y formula, but it's not even like, I don't know if you can see, it's not like that metallic. It's pretty, but like, I don't know. I don't personally think you needed both, because at least for me with metallics, if they don't have a shimmer, I will sometimes treat them as mattes, I guess. Besides that, I do really like all the shimmers. One random thing, I don't know if you can tell, maybe you can, like especially this shade here, Poppy. Some of these are like, when they were glued, I don't think you can see, but maybe you can see there. When they were glued, some of them are like not set correctly, so only two of them. So it's a Poppy and Florentina. Nothing that like, I feel like the shadow itself is gonna fall out, so it's not a big deal. It just is something that I noticed and I'm like, which I'm assuming is not purposeful. I think it just, you know, whatever. And then one thing that this palette as well does have that's like a fault, if you're like me, if you're like a lot of other people I feel like on the beauty community, the darkest shade in my opinion, which would be this shimmer shade, which is absolutely beautiful, but it is a shimmer and it is not a matte. I did do like a cut crease look yesterday using this palette. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, but it wasn't something that I was like, oh yeah, like I'm in love with this palette. This look today, I do like a lot more. It's super pretty, shimmery or whatever, but I do think that this palette for me is just going to be, I'm going to have to use it with other things. I'm going to have to, like if I added in a matte black or something, just some deeper shades, I personally feel like they could have done pretty dark purple, a nice dark red, just something that I feel like I could use, again, like I said, for my style of makeup. I like to do more cut crease. Now, if you're into pinks and all of that, totally do this. And I would definitely say quality is really great with this palette. It is very on par with my favorite palette from them. Hold on. Still, I don't think it's outbeat. It is the Brew palette. This palette is my ultimate neutral palette. I absolutely love it. A couple of the shades in here aren't the best. That's something I would say with this new palette. I don't know if they changed the formula or something. The mattes are definitely better, as in you can like build them up. So I do appreciate that. I also really appreciate that there's a lot more shimmers, and I do appreciate that the shimmers are actually a lot better from all their other palettes. I don't usually like their shimmers. I don't usually like their metallics because they're kind of just like subpar. You know, I usually like them for their mattes. So I would definitely say they are getting in the direction that I really like, which is something why I am happy that I did buy this palette. I'm happy that it's different. It's really pretty. It's, you know, you can tell the packaging is just, it's really jumping out there and being beautiful. I guess I should throw in there, I bought this palette just because I was curious, if I'm honest. Also because I have all their other palettes, and it is a brand that I do like a lot of their makeup, so it's something that I was like, let me go ahead and just pick it up. I do not regret. Like I said, I'm definitely going to use a lot more of the shimmers. This shimmer shade here, Pink Tulip, is absolutely beautiful. I don't know if you can see that. It's like, let me not swatch it, like a really bad spot again. It's like red, but pink, and like, I don't know, it's not looking very great on camera, but trust me, it is absolutely beautiful. This shade here, the Zinnia, I would say if anything, this palette, the shimmers are really good. I honestly wish that they would do, like, whatever this formula is here, and I can't tell if these are like, it doesn't really feel like a pressed, or what do you call it, like a pressed glitter. I don't necessarily feel like a base, but it is very creamy or something, but like now you can see it maybe. It's like so bad. Maybe it's my lighting. I don't freaking know. It is, just trust me, it is absolutely gorgeous. The best shimmers that they've ever come out with. So that is what I would definitely say is my favorite thing about this palette. But okay, let's go ahead and just jump into a tutorial. Okay, so I'm thinking super simple, easy, just playing with the different color story, or not different, but as this is a very Valentine's-y kind of vibe. I'm gonna dip in first with the shade Cherry Blossom, just using a Morphe M456 brush, and I'm just gonna start running that through my crease. I'm thinking of doing this kind of like a smoky eye, but like pink eye. I feel like that sounds weird, but I already tested it a little bit earlier, and it worked out super pretty. Okay, next I'm just gonna go in with the shade Primrose. I'm gonna try that out. I did use this shade earlier, which is Azalea, and it was just, I think, a bit too deep, so we're just gonna use this one. Using the B5 brush from Blend Bunny, and just use that to blend out the edges. I'm thinking of taking it lightly into like the inner corner of the eye, just to soften that out. But I wanna make sure to kind of keep a space there. I think I'm gonna use like a light shimmery shade to help to kind of keep the eye open. Okay, next I'm just gonna go ahead and blend everything out just using this Sonia G Crease 2 brush. One thing I really do so far like about these shadows is they are blending super well. I'm having no issue whatsoever, and yeah, they're looking super pretty. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like anytime you wear like pinks or whatever, it's just kind of like, you just feel pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and continue to do that. I'm definitely going to take a little bit more of that Cherry Blossom shade just through the crease to rebuild everything back up a little bit more. Next, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the White Lotus shade just with, this is a Real Techniques shading brush. I'm just going to add that to the like inner portion of the eye, just to our inner corner, just to get a nice amount of brightness. After that, I haven't decided if I want to do NYX glitter glue or not. I think we're gonna go ahead and do it. So I'm gonna do NYX glitter glue. I'm just gonna take the Sweet Pea shade. This is such a pretty shade. It has like multi-sparkle dimension. I don't know what you want to call it. When I had done this look before, I put this like all over my lid. I haven't decided. I did just use my finger. I think I'm gonna do that just for like ease. And I do notice you are able to get that like more pretty pigment, but I don't know if you can see. It's like this, to me in the pan it almost looks like brownie, maybe like a dark plum, but like on the eye you just see all of this dimension, and it is kind of one of those super shimmery shades that I love. It's just like, ooh, so shimmery. Okay, so to merge like the inner corner and like this darker shade, I'm just gonna take the shade Red Tulip, which is like the center shimmery shade here. Just the same brush, and just apply that more into that kind of inner part of the eye. I might apply a little bit more of that white shade White Lotus, just to help this to blend in better. But I'm not taking the Red Tulip shade further than like my lid. I'm gonna go ahead and just blend everything out real quick. So taking that Sonia G brush, I really like this. I basically just took what was left of like the glitter or that shimmer shade and just started to like soften it out into the crease. I might just like apply a little bit up in there. I like these looks that I've like just kind of make everything look really pretty. Even dipping in with the brush a little bit. But I really just love bringing that shimmer up high because I feel like it just, I don't know, it just adds like this really pretty dimension. The number one rules of makeup or whatever are like, don't take shimmers up into your crease, but it's just so pretty and dimensional. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up real quick. I think I'm gonna apply some eyeliner. And then I'm actually going to put on some lashes today. So let me do all of that and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just applied, I just realized I have no bottom mascara on. Love that. But I just went ahead and applied the lashes. So for eyelashes, I'm wearing just these ones I've had forever. They're from Eylure London, the Vegas nail lashes. I don't know, Grand Glamour is the style. I've always just liked the way that these look. I don't know, I think they look pretty. I want to try to work on wearing lashes more because I literally never do. And I do feel like they kind of complete a look more. Like I feel like my eyes just look more, I don't know, pretty, whatever. But yeah, this is the final look and everything. I totally didn't tell you. I took a little bit of the red shade that we had used, so Cherry Blossom, just under the lash line and just kind of soften them out. No other product, and then I did just do NYX white eyeliner in the waterline. But yeah, that is basically it for the end of this video. I think this palette is super cute if you're into the whole pinky vibe and all of that stuff, and yeah, I definitely, the quality is actually really good. So I guess final fun little review. Okay, that is basically it for this video, and yeah, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Alright, bye.